Finish the sentence.
Okay.
If Texas beats Oklahoma, ...
They will be back. We've been talking about this forever, right? For almost a decade, we've been waiting for Texas to be back. And that's always the big deal. But the bottom line is, after a decade of waiting and maybe even wandering through the desert of football there in Austin, Texas, they're 60 minutes away from being back. And you could say, listen, they've beaten Oklahoma before in the last couple of years. Yes, but this is different. This time they're ranked. This time they're on a 4-game winning streak. This time they've beaten TCU. They've beaten USC. That's 2 ranked wins this season. This time they would be putting themselves squarely in the conversation for the Big 12 title. And, Dan, even the playoff with the resume that they're starting to build. So if Texas wins, they're back.
If Kentucky beats A&M.
Oh, gosh. Panic. Because then you have to have the actual scenario in your head that if they were to upset Georgia, Alabama would have to play Kentucky in the SEC championship game. And nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see Alabama hang half 100 on Kentucky.
If Virginia Tech beats Notre Dame, or vice versa.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I'll be shocked if Virginia Tech beats Notre Dame. This is a team that gave up 60 points, or 600 yards at Old Dominion, so I'll be shocked. I think Notre Dame's a bona fide playoff team.
Yeah, it just feels like it's a tricky game. It's the quarterbacking situation. It seems like Notre Dame's found their quarterback. Virginia Tech lost their quarterback. But I don't know. It's just Notre Dame always has one of these games, it feels like, every year.
Almost every team does when you really think about it. Even Alabama has not been immune to one of, quote unquote, one of these games. So I hear you, and it's not an easy place to play. I will tell you, though, that the insertion of Ian Book in the lineup has just changed my whole outlook for Notre Dame, because now all of a sudden they're explosive offensively. In their first 3 games, Dan, they scored 70 total points. In their last 2, they've scored 94. And that was, against Stanford, and I think Stanford is still pretty good, although they might have been running out of gas after 2 straight road games against ranked opponents. So I do think Notre Dame is serious. And let me put it to you this way. I think this is an interesting game to play out, and I think maybe I'm ahead of myself. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, Notre Dame and Clemson finish the season undefeated. It's going to be so easy to say Notre Dame has the better resume and should be included in the playoff over Clemson with the way that Clemson has played and the weakness of their schedule and their resume thus far.
Give me another game to keep an eye on this weekend.
I think LSU-Florida is a really good game because, quite frankly, I think Florida has the potential to upset LSU. I still think LSU is a bit overrated, and the reason is they've just got no consistency on offense. They played well offensively last week, and Burrow had his best game as a Tiger. There's no doubt about it. But before that, they had a hard time playing offense out of a wet paper bag. Let's be honest. So I think that's an interesting game because Florida, as they're getting better under Mullen, has a chance to maybe upset the Tigers.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.